I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Dante Fabro of the Nashville Predators.
This is Philip Forsberg of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Colton Sissons of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Eustace Aros of the Nashville Predators.
You're listening to the Renegades of Puck
with Crazy Charlie.
Welcome to the Bunker. Welcome to the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. And before we get started with no half-step and hockey coverage, first, let me direct you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you'll learn everything you need to know about the show. Once you're getting educated about the show, you can click on that merchandise tab, take you straight to our classic logo t-shirt, our pride logo t-shirt, all of our different special event t-shirts, and so much more. All the gimmicks you come to know and love and expect from the Renegades of Puck are all still available in our online store. Whether that's socks, throw pillows, wall art, bed sets, all still available in our online store. Something like 88 different items available there. Easiest way to say it is we've sold out so that you can buy in. Social media is of critical importance to this operation, so here's how you can support the Renegades of Puck. Jump in the trenches on X or perhaps on Facebook, Instagram, Threads. We're on all of those different social media platforms. We're also still on TikTok, so please, whatever it is that you prefer, join us there and help us out on social media. It doesn't take you but a second. It doesn't cost you but a thing, but it goes a long way to helping out this operation. You can also find us on YouTube, and we sure do appreciate all of our newest subscribers, so thank you so much. Stick taps, love, and respect. We could always use some more subscribers, though, so come on, again, jump in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck over there on YouTube. Just search Renegades of Puck or just check us out today. You'll find all of our recaps, all of our previews, all of our different segments, and all of our different full episodes. So right there on YouTube, check that out today. You can find the audio podcast thanks to the Full Press NHL Network and the Full Press Predators podcast on numerous platforms. You can find us on Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Amazon, and several different platforms. Whatever it is you prefer, just search Renegades of Puck today, and you'll get the best Nashville Predators coverage that is out there. Stick taps, love, and respect to everybody who helped make the show go from local to global in 2023 into 2024. We continue that momentum now into the middle part of February here in 2024. So we sure are appreciative of each and every one of you out there. Venmo, that's how you can support the Renegades of Puck financially. Just go to Venmo and search Renegades of Puck or scan the QR code that is currently on your screen. Every dollar goes a long way to helping the Renegades of Puck, so if you can spare some dollars, please send them our way. As you can see, we have continued building out the bunker, the studio as it is, and we are continuing to add things behind the scenes, and we are continuing to make things better. So we sure appreciate anyone who can make a donation to the Renegades of Puck podcast. Without your support, this show would not exist. So again, stick taps, love, and respect. Now listen, I know it's time to get to know half star hockey coverage, so let's deliver the goods. It's time for operation number 883. That's right. Show number 883. And at this moment in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in fourth place in the Central Division after 64 games skated. Their record of 36-25-3, 75 points has the Nashville Predators 8 points shy of an automatic qualifying playoff spot of third place in the Central Division, and currently 10 points shy of first place in the Central Division. We will update the Central Division standings and the wild card standings, which are currently very important to this Nashville Predators team, in a moment. The Nashville Predators, after this homestand, have improved their home record to 18-5-1. As you remember, before the Predators came home for this homestand, the Predators had a losing record on home ice. Also on the road, which is where the Nashville Predators next game will take place. They have a record of 18-10-2. They've scored 206 goals in the season. They've given up 196 goals. That is a goal differential of +10. Now, I promised you updated Central Division standings, so let's talk about it. We always start with a three-team weave at the top of the division. The Dallas Stars currently in first place after 64 games skated. They have 85 points. The Winnipeg Jets are in second place, 61 games skated, 83 points. Colorado is in third place, 64 games skated, 83 points. So the Winnipeg Jets obviously have the advantage here, 3 more games in hand than either of the other two teams they're competing with for the division title, and first to third place is separated by 2 total points. The Nashville Predators just on the outside of that window looking in, so they are in the rearview mirror, but the Predators solidly in a wild card spot. As a matter of fact, they're in wild card 1 at this moment in time. The Predators have 75 points. Behind the Preds, chasing them in 5th place is the St. Louis Blues, 8 points behind the Nashville Predators with 67 points. The Minnesota Wild are in 6th place, and they have 66 points, 9 points behind Nashville. Arizona and Chicago are out of it, and they have 55 points and 37 points, respectively, 7th and 8th place in the Central Division. When it comes to the wild card standings, the Nashville Predators have moved into Wild Card 1 with 75 points. The Vegas Golden Knights have tumbled to Wild Card 2 with 73 points. And on the outside, looking in, is Calgary and Seattle, each with 67 points. So the Predators have an 8-point cushion now and of a playoff spot with only 18 games remaining in the season, and the Predators are at least in the rearview mirror of the top 3 teams in the Central Division. Realistically, are they going to punch through and penetrate into that race? Don't think so, but the closer they are to that race, the better they are in the wild card race, and it's a playoff spot nonetheless. That's got you updated on the Central Division. That's also got you updated on the wild card standings. Now, let's talk about this Nashville Predators team briefly. They are now going on the road. This first game is going to be in Columbus. That's going to be on Saturday early. Make sure you note the start times, matinee start times all weekend long. Saturday and then Sunday in Minnesota. So back-to-back for the Nashville Predators after this 5-game homestand. Off for 2 days after the back-to-back, then in Winnipeg on Wednesday night, and then off on Thursday and Friday, and in Seattle on Saturday. On the 19th of March, the Nashville Predators will be back home to face off against San Jose Sharks. On the 21st of March, the Nashville Predators will be in Florida to take on the best team in the NHL, the Florida Panthers. So the Nashville Predators definitely have a big-time back-to-back this weekend, but a winnable back-to-back. And one of those games is against a Central Division rival that is still lurking around the wild card picture. The season series between the Nashville Predators and the Columbus Blue Jackets, who are the Nashville Predators' next opponent. This is just a scheduling oddity. They play again at Nashville on the 13th of April. So this is the first time that these two teams are meeting this year. We are all the way into March, and the Nashville Predators are just now meeting one of the opponents on the schedule for the first time in this season. The Columbus Blue Jackets have an overall record of 22, 31, and 10. 54 points has them in 8th and last place in the Metropolitan Division. On home ice, they have a record of 12, 16, and 4. They've scored 191 goals in the season. They've given up 230 against. That's a goal differential of minus 39. We always go back through the previous 5 for the Nashville Predators' next opponent. So let's go back and start on the 29th of February. A 4-2 loss for the Jackets versus the Carolina Hurricanes. And on March the 2nd, a 5-2 win at the Chicago Blackhawks. On the 4th of March, a 6-3 win versus the Vegas Golden Knights. And on the 5th of March, a 5-3 loss at the Pittsburgh Penguins. On the 7th of March, their most recent game, it was a 4-2 win versus the Edmonton Oilers. Now, when it comes to this Columbus team, their rankings are not very impressive, but you cannot take them lightly. The Edmonton Oilers just suffered a loss in Columbus. The Nashville Predators should see that as a red flag and a warning. Don't let this be a trap game before heading into a divisional game on Sunday in Minnesota. So let's talk about the rankings and the numbers, but again, these should be looked at with caution because these are the types of lures that get thrown out there that teams can sometimes be deceived by, and there are still plenty of quality NHL players on this Columbus Blue Jackets team, but the Nashville Predators are going to have at least a little bit of a different look going into this weekend. We'll talk about that here in a second. Let's talk about the rankings and the matchup between these two teams before we get into trade deadline information. Most updated, this show being recorded just after the trade deadline ended, so we have the Nashville Predators final trade list with us right here. We'll get to that here in just a second. The Columbus Blue Jackets are scoring 3 goals per game this season. That's 21st overall in the NHL. The Nashville Predators are generating 3.19 on net per game. That is 14th overall in the NHL. In the goals against category, the Preds give up 3.06 per game. That's 16th. The Columbus Blue Jackets give up 3.63 per game. That is 31st, one spot from last in the NHL. In the shots on goal category, the Predators 31 per game is 14th. Columbus Blue Jackets 30.2 per game is 19th. In the shots against category, Predators giving up 30.3 per game is 20th overall in the league. The Columbus Blue Jackets are 30th rated in the league, giving up 33.3 shots against per game. When it comes to the special teams matchup, the Nashville Predators are actually ahead in both of these statistical metrics. They should be. They're a playoff team right now, and the Columbus Blue Jackets are not. The power play conversions for the Nashville Predators on the season, 18th overall in the league, 20.2%, 44 conversions on 218 opportunities. Columbus's conversion rate is 14.4%. They are 30th overall in the NHL. They convert 25 times at 174 opportunities. When it comes to the penalty kill, Nashville, the Preds' kill rate, 76.8%, is 24th. Not that great, but it is better than Columbus being rated 25th at 76.2%. 46 power play goals against, though, for Nashville is worse than Columbus's 43 power play goals against. Neither of those numbers are exactly very good. Now, we want to talk about the trade deadline and trade information before we wrap up the end of this recap. The Nashville Predators did make 2 more deals leading up to the deadline on trade deadline day, and it was Dennis Gurianov heading off to the Philadelphia Flyers for Wade Allison. Let's just consider that an AHL to AHL exchange right there. Both of those players, similar situations and storylines, both of them trying to rehab their early hyped careers. So Allison will now get an opportunity to come to the Predators organization. The old new scenery, fresh start thing for Allison. Let's see what he can do in the future. So the other trade made by Barry Trotz today, the 2024 6th round pick is headed off to Arizona, and that is for Jason Zucker. 9 goals, 16 assists on the season for 25 points. He's a left winger. He's got 679 games of experience, 191 goals, 172 assists in his career, 363 points. So the Nashville Predators give up just a draft pick. Remember, they collected a wealth of draft picks in David Poyle's final trade deadline last year, leading up to the trade deadline when they dismantled much of the roster. So for the Nashville Predators on the day, they traded Dennis Gurianov, who was frankly not going to be a part of this Nashville Predators picture, and in his opportunities did not seize the momentum. He had enough games to make an impression, and the impression he made was that he was expendable to Philadelphia for another player of the same type, and trading away a 6th round pick to Arizona for Zucker. None of the trades the Nashville Predators made are considered risk. Beauvillier should be in the lineup here. He was traded for yesterday. Beauvillier should be in the lineup this weekend. He's already here in Nashville practicing. So for the Nashville Predators, what they did was remove Yakov Trenin from the everyday roster, and they imported Beauvillier and now Zucker onto the roster, and both of them should probably get plenty of ice time with this Nashville Predators team for who are looking to make a run. The team has been crystal clear about this. The reason that they didn't sell off other potential free agents in the upcoming cycle, and the reason they didn't make any other big sell-off moves, is because they want to make a run. They're currently in the wild card 1 spot with 75 points. They have an 8-point cushion over the 2 teams on the outside looking in, and the Predators have picked up 19 of their last 20 points. There's 18 games to go in the season. The Predators have an opportunity to get into the playoffs, and with the players that they currently have in the roster, they have bolstered by a little bit of playoff experience, which is what Beauvillier and Zucker bring to this roster. The Nashville Predators are looking to make that run. So trade deadline overall involving the Nashville Predators is considerably light. That's why we didn't talk about it very much. That's why we make a big deal about it. Unless the Predators were going to be big-time sellers, this is how it was going to be. A couple of not very high-risk deals for a couple of very low importance assets going out. Yakov Trenin was an important asset, important enough. I liked him as a player, that's for sure. I like covering his career. So trade deadline for the Nashville Predators, a couple of moves, all of them relatively safe. What's going to change after today, after the trade deadline? Beauvillier into the lineup and Zucker into the lineup. Trenin no longer a part of the Nashville Predators. Everything else should remain exactly the same. No change at goaltending, as had been widely speculated. No change on the defense. They're going to remain with the pairs that have been successful for the last 10 games, the 5-game road trip that the Predators swept, and the 5-game homestand that they went 4-0-1 on, picking up 19 and 20 points. The roster convinced management that they were going to be able to stick together and try to make a run at it. Now, what can they do when they get there? Who knows? But the whole point of the 82-game regular season is simply to end up in the tournament. And the Predators looking to make a run at that. Looking forward to seeing Beauvillier in the lineup. Out of the players acquired and the changes, Beauvillier, watched him a lot with the New York Islanders. I thought that he's very, very good professional player. A lot like the way O'Reilly, Nyquist, these players were questioned by Barry Trotz bringing in at the beginning of the season. A lot of the same questions are being raised right here, and if they pan out the way O'Reilly and Nyquist have panned out, well, then these are going to be great additions. You know, Barry Trotz has plenty of experience when it comes to Beauvillier, when he was the head coach of the New York Islanders, and they made a couple of playoff runs. And, of course, the head coach of the Nashville Predators, Andrew Burnett, goes all the way back to Minnesota with Zucker. So there's a lot of commonalities between what the Nashville Predators and the moves that they made, and they're continuing to build the roster and build the core, and right now they're in a playoff spot. So They didn't do a lot of movement, but they did make some adjustments. Now, let's talk about the individual scores and statistics for this matchup coming up in this next game to get your heads back wrapped around that. Forsberg, 33 goals, 34 assists now for 67 points on the season. The captain, Roman Josi, at 15 goals and 47 assists for 62 points. Gus Nyquist is at 17 goals and 39 assists for 56 points. O'Reilly, 23 and 32 for 55. Novak, 13 goals, 22 assists, 35 points on the season. Over on the other side of the ledger, the Columbus Blue Jackets hosting the Nashville Predators. Their leading scorer is Johnny Hockey. Johnny Gaudreau, 10 goals and 35 assists. I've almost completely forgotten about him. 45 points on the season. Werenski, 4 and 34 for 38. And it is going to be Marcello for 17 and 15 for 32. Varnikov, 17 goals, 14 assists for 31 points. And Boom Jenner, 19 goals and 10 assists for 29 points overall in the season. The anticipated goaltending matchup, the head coach of the Nashville Predators, Andrew Burnett, in back-to-backs has gone with UC Saros on the first night of back-to-backs a couple of times, and we'll see what he's going to do this time, but his updated stats, 27, 21, and 3, 907 save percentage, 2.83 goals against average, and 2 shutouts. Elvis Merzlikins, 12 goals. Man, if he had 12 goals, he would be having one hell of a year. Columbus would not be in last place. 12, 13, and 7 is his record, 904 save percentage, 3.21 is his goals against average. That's going to do it to get you all set up for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Remember to note that start time early. It's in the AM, as a matter of fact, so make sure you are ready for that. We'll be in the trenches covering it all. We'll have it all broken down for you probably shortly after lunch when that game wraps up. So we will be back with more on this episode. That does it for the preview. We've got to talk about the recap. It's called the Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap. It's coming up next right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hockey players are as unique as the game itself, and your uniform should be tailored to fit you. Rebirth Sports is your sports apparel tailor. From shells, bags, warm-ups, hats, hoodies, branding, and more, let Rebirth Sports be your custom hockey tailor.
And don't forget to tell them they do more than just hockey.
Rebirth Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rebirth Sport, a match made in hockey.
It's now time for the Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap. We go all the way back to March the 7th of the year 2024, when the Nashville Predators were closing out a 5-game homestand against the Buffalo Sabres, also closing out the 2-game regular season series against Buffalo. Head coach Andrew Burnett deploys his lines and defensive combinations in the following way, and they are actually a little bit different in this game. Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Nyquist, Goryanov back in the lineup, Sissons and Glass, Jankowski, Novak, and Evangelista, Smith, McCarron, and Sherwood, Josi and Fabro, Shen, McDonough, Luzon, Carey, your defensive pairings, and UC Saros gets the start in net on home ice. We are just 29 seconds into the game, and it is UC Saros coming up with the first save of the game, and it is on Robinson, 128 into the first period. Comrie comes up with a save on Forsberg, the 147 mark of the first period. Comrie comes up with another save, this time on Luke Evangelista at the 250 mark of the first period. We find our first special team scenario already as Grigensons goes off to the box 2 minutes for interference. Philip Forsberg goes to work with the sharp angle wrist shot for his team leading 31st goal of the season on the power play to give the Nashville Predators a 1-0 lead in an active first period. Did I say active? 4:23 now into the first period. It's Byram coming up with his 9th goal of the season. New acquisition for the Buffalo Sabres. First shift, first shot on goal. He puts it in for his 9th time, the game up 1 apiece, and it was a absolute wrist shot snipe. And no matter how many times you try to look on that broadcast to try to find the deflection they keep talking about, seems like he just beat UC Saros clean on this one. 5:56 of the first period. Darlene's off to the box 2 minutes for interference. Philip Forsberg earning the power play. As a matter of fact, maybe a smart penalty for Darlene, because Forsberg would have been off to the races for a 2-on-1. 0 shots on goal for the Nashville Predators on the power play, unable to get much going. At the 8:34 mark of the first period, it's the captain, Roman Josi, off the box 2 minutes for high sticking. UC Saros comes with a save on Cousins, and then Saros comes with another save on Kyle Okposo at the 11:18 mark. Now that we're back to 5-on-5 hockey, Comrie comes up with a save on Philip Forsberg at the 12:11 mark of the first period. UC Saros comes up with a save on Byram at the 13:42 mark of the first period. It's Saros coming with a save on Alex Tucken at 14:51 of the first. We see Cousins off the box 2 minutes for tripping. The Nashville Predators power play back to work in this game, and it's Luke Evangelista converting with his 12th goal of the season. It was Tommy Novak with just the absolute sick cross slot to a crashing Luke Evangelista feed. Tommy Novak, all he does is make plays, and Luke Evangelista driving the net, going to the hard and dangerous areas with that level of no half step weapon jam. He's rewarded by giving the Nashville Predators a 2-1 lead. Second power play goal of the game, 12th of the season for Luke Evangelista. At the 18:45 mark of the first period, it's Comrie coming up with a save on O'Reilly, and that would do it for the first period. A highly active first period, high event period. The Nashville Predators lead 2-1 and are out shooting Buffalo 10-9. We go to the clean sheet into the second period at Bridgestone Arena. Remember, Buffalo coming in after skating the previous night, so second night of back-to-backs. They're now into their fifth period of hockey in just about 24 hours. At the 2:02 mark of the second period, Saros comes up with a save on Olofsson. At the 2:53 mark of the second period, it's UC Saros coming with a save on Okposo. Okposo was all alone over on the left side. He had plenty of time and space to pick his opportunity. UC Saros won that chess match, coming up with the big-time save. 3:45 into the second period, it's Comrie coming up with a save on Fabro. At 4:40, Comrie another save, this time on Luke Shen. And at the 5:02 mark of the second period, it's Comrie coming up with a save on Ryan McDonough. So the Predators' last three scoring opportunities come from Fabro, Shen, and McDonough. All of the defensemen, all long shots. The Nashville Predators in the second period not getting to the high-danger interior areas. At the 5:13 mark of the second period, Glass gets a penalty, 4 minutes for high sticking, also gets absolutely leveled, deposited into the net. Now listen, the whole situation had to be reviewed. It was called 4 minutes, so it can be reviewed, and I think the referee absolutely did this intentionally because it was down to one referee at this point, with the other referee leaving injured earlier in the game. So I think that the review process was triggered intentionally, and for good reason, because the whole play had to be overturned, as it was Dahlin that hit his own teammate, and it was a vicious high stick, causing quite a bit of color to leak right there. So Glass out of the box, back to 5-on-5 hockey, and then we go to the 8:46 mark of the second period, and we find UC Saros coming up with a save on Peterka at the 9:28 mark. Saros comes up with a save on Cousins, and at 11:02, just past the halfway point of this game, it's Comrie back to work, coming up with a save on Dante Fabro. At the 12:08 mark, Byram making a difference in his first game, so UC Saros has to come up with a big save on him right here. At the 13:24 mark of the second period, it's Alex Carrier off to the box, 2 minutes for holding. It's UC Saros coming up with a big save on Power. The Nashville Predators penalty kill would do a good job from that point forward, and the Nashville Predators would kill off this scenario. At the 15:49 mark of the second period, it's Comrie coming up with a save on Fabro. At 18:44, so a couple of minutes here without any action, Comrie coming up with a save on Yossi. At the 19:34 mark of the second period, UC Saros coming with a save on Dahlin. So you see almost all of the Nashville Predators scoring chances and shots on goal here in the second period. Out of their 9 shots on goal seem to be coming from long distance and coming from the blue liners on this team. We do hit the end of the second period, and it is the Nashville Predators still leading in this game and out shooting Buffalo 19-16. We flip things over to the backside of the sheet. We go to the third period. We start things off a little bit slow in the first minute, but then at about 1:49, we find Philip Forsberg cashing in with his 32nd goal of the season, his second goal of the game. He was given all the time and space in the world to finish. He chose to pull the puck onto the backhand and roof it. Philip Forsberg can hit that shot from that place without resistance at any point in time. The goaltender, frankly, never had a chance on this one. Again, nobody was there to pick up Philip Forsberg on the weak side, and he just took his time and finishes with a sweet backhand. Second goal of the game, 32nd of the season. Preds lead 3-1 over Buffalo. 3:36 now into the third period. It's Comrie coming with a save on Sherwood. At the 3:48 mark of the third period, Saros coming with a save on Benson. At 4:32 of the third period, it's Saros coming with a save on Robinson. We do see a good scrum after the whistle. The scrum, though, initiated by the Predators defenders, pushing all of the Buffalo Sabres out of the blue paint and pushing them quite far away from UC Saros. That was good to see, especially as Buffalo is starting to get a little bit more tired here in the third period. They did not really want to use up any excess energy in physical confrontation, so the Preds pushed them out of there with ease. At the 6:39 mark of the third period, it's Comrie coming with a save on Forsberg, but at 6:43, just 4 seconds later, it is Philip Forsberg picking up his own rebound, and it is a rebound wraparound jam for the hat trick, the 9th hat trick of Philip Forsberg's career. They did take a look and review this ever so briefly, but that was just so that everybody could enjoy seeing it a couple of more times. Forsberg clearly with the power move stuffs the puck in. There wasn't a thing Comrie could do. He tried to cover it up, tried to squeak it out of there, but no dice on that one. Philip Forsberg's 33rd goal of the season, 9th hat trick of his career. He's got a nice new hat collection. Preds, 2nd hat trick on this homestand. Nashville Predators now lead this game 4-1. We're at the 7:01 mark of the third period now, and it's UC Saros coming up with a save on Benson. Benson had a strong game for the Buffalo Sabres in Nashville. 8:31 in the third period. Saros coming up with a save on Olofsson at the 10:02 mark, now just past the middle point of the third period. It's UC Saros coming up with a save on Power at the 10:45 mark. It is McCarron off the box, 2 minutes for tripping, and while the Nashville Predators are largely controlling this game, this gives the Buffalo Sabres an opportunity. This PK was very strong. As a matter of fact, they did not give up a single shot against. So for the Nashville Predators, looking to kill some time, but immediately after the power play is over, it is in fact the Buffalo Sabres picking up their second goal of the game. Byram made an incredible setup, zone entry off of the wall to the slot area for Power to go ahead and fire into the net. The second time UC Saros beaten by a wrist shot from about the same distance in this game and beaten cleanly by this one, but Byram did all of the work. He looked highly impressive in his first game as a Buffalo Sabre. The Nashville Predators still lead 4-2 in this game. The 14:53 mark of the third period. It's Comrie coming up with a save on McCarron at 15:24. Saros a save on Robinson at 17:24. Saros comes up with a save on Cousins, and at 19:15 in the third period, UC Saros makes the final save of the game on Olofsson. The Nashville Predators close out the 5-game homestand with a 4-2 victory over the Buffalo Sabres. Now, due to the Nashville Predators slowing down a little bit here in the third period, taking their foot off the gas, the Buffalo Sabres do outshoot the Preds for the game 28-24. As a matter of fact, the Buffalo Sabres generated 12 shots on goal. It was the most shots on goal that they had in any single period, and they did pick up a goal in that third period. So the Preds had a better opportunity to close out the Buffalo Sabres, but it's hard to complain too much when the home team picks up a 4-2 victory, and we're leading at 4-1, and with only 7 minutes to go in this game, and then Buffalo picks up their second goal of the game. So for Philip Forsberg, it's all about number 9. He gets his 9th hat trick of his career, 3 goals in this game, 8 shots on goal, simply an otherworldly performance, and he's got every opportunity to not only get to 40, but to beat his career high, which would also be a franchise record. That's going to do it for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We've got so much more to talk about coming up next, right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Tracy, owner-operator of Strong Style Fitness. And that's me and my training assistant, Rizzo. And we are here to bring you fitness that meets you where you are by offering circuit classes, bar-inspired classes, Tabata workouts, boot camps, guided stretching, and more, all taught by a certified personal trainer, me. To learn more, go to our website, strongstylefit.com. Subscribe on YouTube at Strong Style Fitness. Follow on social media at Strong Style Fit. But most importantly, let's get you moving. It doesn't matter if it's your first workout or you've been doing it for years. Strong Style Fitness has the workout that meets you on your journey and helps you along the path to a happier, healthier life. I understand where you've been, what you were going through, and where you were going, and I want to take you there. We'll see you on the mat. Mwah.
Welcome back in Renegades of Puck podcast. Let's get to the analysis portion of things. UC Saros got the start. This one picks up the victory, 26 out of 28. The 2 goals against, though, it's not concerning. Goaltenders don't always have the sharpest of nights, and I felt like this is one of those. The workload light enough not to be taken advantage of. UC Saros, though, got beat cleanly. On the broadcast, they kept talking about deflected this, deflected that, here, there, nothing. UC Saros was beaten cleanly on 2 wrist shots in this game from the slot area. It's okay. It happens. UC Saros picks up the victory. It was the 27th victory of the season. There's no reason to make a BFD about it. So not his best game overall, but he got beat by 2 wrist shots, still able to secure the victory, 26 out of 28. If the Buffalo Sabres were able to generate more shots on goal, if the Buffalo Sabres were able to have their legs under them maybe a little bit more in this game, who knows how it would have worked out with UC Saros not having his best performance. But in the goaltending matchup that he was involved with, you also have to remember Comrie, second game in, 2 months? Something like that. So, it was a goaltending matchup, even with UC Saros only being 50% in this game, it seemed like, of his usual stellar performance. It sure seemed like he was going to win that goaltending matchup no matter what. Philip Forsberg made sure that 3 goals in this game. Of course, that is a hat trick. It's his 9th career hat trick. Now he's 33 goals on the season, and I wrote the number 40 with a question mark after that. And I look at the schedule, and I see Columbus, and then at Minnesota and at Winnipeg coming up. And I think that these are three teams that Philip Forsberg typically does quite well against. And it's the time of year when he's just incredibly hot and streaky when it comes to scoring. And he's certainly on fire right now, up to 67 points. He's now 3 points ahead of his point per game pace that he had fallen behind not that long ago. So Philip Forsberg's 3 goals in this game. The wrist shot where the goaltender, again, I got to look over there, Comrie, because I'm just not familiar with him that well. Comrie was so far up at the top of the crease that when Philip Forsberg got the opportunity to shoot from the sharp angle, it was practically a practice shot for Philip Forsberg. The same with the backhand finish later on when he had so much time and space and just put the puck into the net, and he does as easily as could possibly be. And then the wraparound jam just completely out-muscled Comrie and stuffed him into the net with the puck. So Philip Forsberg putting it all on display and just absolutely wearing out the Buffalo Sabres in this game. Again, congratulations on his 9th career hat trick, 33 goals. Can he get 40? I think what I'm trying to say is at the end of the next couple of games, he's going to be much closer to 40 goals than he is currently. And I have no reason to believe that there's not one more of these type games in him before the end of the season. After all, teams are going to start shutting it down. There are some of those type teams on the schedule, say like the San Jose Sharks on March the 19th. So Philip Forsberg has opportunities in the next stretch of games, and he is playing at a high level right now. He also had 8 shots on goal in this game, 1939 total time on ice. Luke Evangelista had the only other goal for the Nashville Predators, but damn, it was sweet. 3 shots on goal to go with it, driving the net incredibly hard, and gets the setup from Tommy Novak. Tommy Novak, incredible pass across the blue paint, right there onto the stick of Evangelista, who's crashing at just the perfect moment with absolute authority. That's the no half-step and jam that you want to see out of any hockey player, and he gets rewarded with that. Luke Evangelista also had 3 shots on goal in this game and only 10:31 in total time on ice. Love to see Luke Evangelista playing that hard, and at that highest level. He also has the skill to supplement all of those different assets. So Luke Evangelista is rounding into a more complete player at this moment before our very eyes. That right there was a great play. Gus Nyquist, the world-class distribution service. How do you not call a guy that when he has 3 assists in the game and he makes Philip Forsberg smile the way he did? You'll just have to check out Predators' social media to see that, but pretty incredible. Nyquist now on that top line with O'Reilly and with Forsberg. Nyquist has 56 points on the season, 39 assists. Looks like he's going to get career highs in assists and also in total points on the season. Not in goals. He's certainly not going to get to 28 on the season, but he could get to 20s at 17 right now. 20-goal season for Gus Nyquist and over 60 points, a career high. That's going to turn out to be one hell of a signing for Barry Trotz, and it sure seems like Nyquist and Forsberg, their chemistry may be going up even a little bit more, which is incredible and especially important at this time of year. So again, Forsberg and Nyquist hooking up all night long. Forsberg with the hat trick, Nyquist with 3 assists. Captain Romagnosi also adds an assist to this one. Give him the credit, 62 points on the season, 4 blocked shots, led the Nashville Predators in this game, also 22-35 total time on ice, led this Nashville Predators team. But give the captain the credit right there. He was very solid in leading his Nashville Predators in victory over the Buffalo Sabres and closing out this homestand. Let's hear from our good friend Stripe Digital, then we'll come back. We'll talk about the good cold hard numbers known as the box score, and then we'll get to a Spartans preview playoff action coming up here in the Nashville area junior hockey. It's coming up this Sunday. We'll get to that, though, after this break. The digital environment can be quite intimidating, time-consuming, and cumbersome, especially with all those other areas that need attention at your business, and that's why Stripe Digital Solutions is here to help. I know because that's exactly what Stripe Digital Solutions did for me and the Renegades of Puck. From designing my home website and helping me create my merchandise to special event posters, brand building, and social media management. But it's not just that, it's so much more. Stripe Digital Solutions has helped me every step of the way. From startup to full-time operation, Stripe Digital Solutions has been there to assist and advise every single step of the journey. In today's fast-paced world, the path to success is having a strong digital partner, and nobody is better in the trenches than Brandy and Stripe Digital Solutions. Get the solution before it's even a problem with Stripe Digital Solutions. Welcome back in Renegades of Puck podcast. The box score is pretty easy. Philip Forsberg, 3 goals for the Nashville Predators. Luke Evangelista, 1 goal. And that is all the goals scored for the Nashville Predators. When it comes to assists, Gus Nyquist was hogging all those. 3 for Gus Nyquist, but a little bit more dispersion because 2 get awarded to goals. Jankowski does pick up one, even though Jankowski did not have a particularly great game out there. Novak picks up an assist because all he does is make plays. O'Reilly has an assist. Yossi and Luzon also with assists in this game. When it comes to shots on goal, Philip Forsberg, just absolutely dominant. Yes, he had 3 goals, but he also had 8 shots on goal. He ended up missing 4 other shots, so 12 total shot attempts, 3 of them into the net, 8 of them on the net. What an incredible offensive night for Philip Forsberg. That is a very dominant performance. When it comes to the other shots on goal leaders, it's Evangelista with 3 and Fabro with 3, and that's going to do it for that category. Block shots, the captain Romeo with 4, Dante Fabro with 3, so Dante Fabro there in another category getting a circle in his stat column. When it comes to the physical component of the game, Luzon, no shock here. 5 hits, a couple of them were pretty thundering in this game. 4 for Cole Smith, 4 for Michael McCarron. All the regular players, the usual suspects that you would anticipate in that particular category. When it comes to time on ice leaders, only one forward over 20 minutes in this game was Ryan O'Reilly at 20 minutes even. So I guess he wasn't over 20 minutes. He was at 20 minutes. Philip Forsberg at 19:39, and that was some good economical time out there on the rink. 3 goals in the game. 19:01 for Gus Nyquist, 3 assists in the game for Nyquist. When it comes to the defensive side of things, it was, of course, the captain Romeo leading the team in total time on ice, 22:35. Ryan McDonough, the only other defenseman over 20 minutes, at 20 minutes and 5 seconds. Good job there by this Nashville Predators defense, taking advantage of a Buffalo Sabres team on the second night of back-to-backs. When it comes to special teams, the Nashville Predators went 2 out of 3 in this game. Power play time on ice leaders, Philip Forsberg, 258, and then it is Gus Nyquist at 231, Ryan O'Reilly at 227, Roman Yossi 238 in total time on ice. When it comes to the penalty kill, the Nashville Predators were perfect, 3 out of 3 in this game. Your penalty kill leaders in time on ice, and without Yakov Trenin, that means things a little bit different. 236 for Colton Sissons, 222 for Sherwood, 205 for Smith. That's a pretty good trio to be out there doing much of the penalty killing. 236 for Dante Fabro, 240 for Luzon. McDonough led the team in total time on ice, shorthanded at 247. When it comes to in net, UC 26 out of 28, 2 goals against, got picked clean twice. But that's all right because he picked up the victory, gets an in-game save percentage of 929, 21 even strength saves, 4 power play saves, 1 short-handed save. Other numbers falling out of the box score to give to you. The face-off winning percentage for this Nashville Predators team, 54.2%. That's a good number right there. 17 hits, a little bit low, especially with the Buffalo Sabres team that, should have been knocked around a little bit more early in the game to make sure that they were exhausted. 15 blocked shots, but these numbers are wild. The puck management and the puck control by both of these squads, it was obviously very sloppy in long stretches in this game. We went a couple of different stretches, 3, 4, 5 minutes without a shot on net, and this is why. 14 takeaways by the Nashville Predators, but 24 giveaways by this Nashville Predators team. They were really sloppy with the puck, especially there in the third period, and they allowed the Buffalo Sabres, frankly, to control much of the third period. Again, the Predators won the game 4-2, and it's hard to be overly critical of them closing out a homestand, picking up 9 of 10 points, and picking up 19 of their last 20 points. It's not a hypercritical thing. It's just an observational thing that the Nashville Predators statistics certainly faltered down the stretch in this game because they did not keep their foot on the gas. 24 giveaways is a very, very ugly number. It's something the coaching staff can easily point to, rally around, and get the team ready to be a little bit more attention to detail oriented coming up in the next game in Columbus, because you cannot take the Columbus Blue Jackets lightly just because they're the 8th place team in the Metropolitan Division and they have a goal differential of minus 39 and most of their rankings are down near the bottom of the league. It will just be all that more embarrassing if you don't take them seriously and they do pick up 2 points against you the same way they did against Edmonton. No, not you. I'm sorry. I mean the Nashville Purse. I mean the Purse, not you. They're not going to pick up 2 points on you. You'll kick that ass. That's Columbus. You'll take care of that. Don't worry about a thing. That's going to do it for the box score. There's no more to talk about there. The numbers are done. What I do want to talk about, though, is one more number. Game 1. Nashville Spartans, Game 1. Junior hockey in Nashville. We've had a junior hockey team here in the Nashville area for the last 2 seasons. Last year, missing the playoff cutoff line on the last minutes of the season. It was brutally heartbreaking. Those players at the end of their junior career had so hoped to make it a run at a national championship. But this year, the Nashville Spartans came back. The players that were able to return, like Ronan Keenan and others, they have just dominated this season. You've heard me talk about it all season long. Well, the time is here. Playoffs are here. Here's a preview that I got to do on the local radio here on 102.5 The Game. Thank you so much to Chase McCabe and Big Joe Dubin for having me on their great morning radio show. Lots of people listen because that's also the Nashville Predators flagship radio station and the home of the Nashville Predators. So lots of people in the hockey community listening to that radio station. And here was my appearance with Chase and Big Joe on 102.5 The Game talking about the Nashville Spartans. Then we'll come back and we'll close this episode out.
One of my favorite people is not going to join the show. Crazy Charlie, if you've been on radio a long time, you know he's fantastic and he's got passion for hockey unlike any others. He's joined us now. Charlie, good to hear from you, my man. How are we?
Fantastic. Great to join you. And Chase, the radio game sure has aged you. My friend, I hope you're feeling better.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. All right, Charlie, big event happened this weekend. Look, we love hockey, and I love your passion for this. What's happening this weekend that, hockey fans and people around here really need to know about?
A $10 night out in Nashville. That's what's happening, Big Joe. Free parking. Have I sold you already? Do I need to tell you anymore? You can't do anything in Nashville for just $10, and you certainly can't park for $10. Free parking. Kids get in free. Nashville Spartans, your premier junior hockey team here in Nashville in the USPHL, making their debut in the USPHL playoffs. Game 1 against the Toledo Cherokee in Nolensville, Tennessee at the Gary Force Acura Ice Arena. Sunday night at 7 o'clock. This team, these kids, they deserve to have you come out and see them play hockey. It's their first ever playoff game. 3 of the top 16 scorers in the USPHL are on this Nashville Spartans team. JoJo Chase, they went 36-7-1 this year, and if they win the series this weekend, they go to Utica, New York for a potential national championship run. Your boys from Nashville, the Spartans, looking to bring a natty right back here to the Nashville area.
All right, what is USPHL?
The United States Premier Hockey League. It is junior hockey here in the United States. It has all ages and levels from age 6 to 21. The league we currently have here in Nashville is Premier. It is next to the top, and the Spartans are one of the best in the Great Lakes Division. Moved from the Southeast to the Great Lakes this year, made a run at a division championship, clinched a playoff spot. It's prospect hockey, it's junior hockey, and it's fantastic hockey. These kids are fighting every shift, every minute, every game to try to earn the respect of coaches and scouts across the world, to get scholarships, to try to earn professional contracts one day. It's truly, truly the best levels of hockey. These kids are still playing for the passion, the joy, and the love. And one day, maybe they could be the next of the 14 to make it from the USPHL all the way to the NHL.
Oh, fantastic. All right,
That's
so
awesome.
Again, tell us, it's Sunday night, right?
Sunday night, 7 o'clock, Nolensville, Tennessee. Very easy to find, the Gary Force Acura Ice Arena. $10 at the door gets you in. Kids are for free parking, and it is playoff hockey. Be part of the First Timers Club, guys. Do we remember what it was like to be there for that first Nashville Predators playoff game? The excitement, the enthusiasm, the energy. Well, it's all right here, and you're guaranteed glass seats because the rink is big enough, small enough to host everybody there around the glass. So come on out. I'm telling you right now, Ronan Keenan is a 6'3" dynamo at center, and you can't teach that. 88 points on the season. Come see this kid. Kyle Flynn hits a Michigan, or a Forsberg, as we like to call it in this town, just last week against Cincinnati to help put the Spartans in their solid spot in second place. They're going to the Nationals. Come out and see them Sunday night at 7 o'clock, please. Come join us. We're live on Flow Hockey. We're broadcasting, streaming all across the world, and we want everyone from Nashville's hockey community to come out and support these amazing kids. Trust me, they're great kids. Most of them are at the very end of their junior career. This team has been working for 2 years to get to this level, and this season they could make a run all the way. We're going to Utica, boys. Come on. Get on the bus with me.
All right, we love it. We got the information. Charlie, let us know next week how the guys do, and hopefully we can send you guys to Utica in style, man. Appreciate you. Love your passion for these kids and for this great sport, Charlie. Thank you.
That was a good promo, Charlie. Very good.
No half-stepping, boys. I'm available anytime. If you guys want to be the celebrity puck droppers for Game 1 or Game 2, you just let me know. I'll reserve that spot for Big Joe and Chase.
You really want to see me get on the ice and bust my ass walking out there?
I have seen it before firsthand. I love it. It's a great experience. It goes viral every time. Great for the radio station. Great for the Spartans. Great for everyone involved. Let's do it.
All right. I'm glad you don't drink coffee. All right. Miss you, brother.
Miss you guys. Thank you so much.
All right. Crazy Charlie. Your information.
That's awesome.
Welcome back in. That sure was a lot of fun, a great joy for me, and you know what, a great privilege to be on the radio promoting this Nashville Spartans. This is about promoting this team. This is about promoting these players. I have a lengthy history and career in the broadcasting and radio industry here in Middle Tennessee, including working at that very radio station at one point in time in my career. I've worked at every radio station in the city. That would be the easiest way to say it. So I appreciate, after many, many years of not being or appearing on that radio station, getting an opportunity to come back on and talk about something extremely important to me, and that's this Nashville Spartans team. Game 1, you heard, 7 o'clock, Sunday night, Gary Force Acura Ice Arena, Nolensville, Tennessee. $10 at the door. Kids get in free parking. Come on, check it out. See the goal lights. See the video wall. See the Nashville Spartans, one of the most dominant teams in the USPHL, as they're trying to make their way to Utica and make their way to a national championship in the USPHL Premier Division. And for the Nashville Preds, it's a huge weekend. Back-to-back, Columbus, Minnesota, both teams below the Preds in the standings. Neither can be taken lightly. The Preds have 4 points. Go get those points. It's as simple as that. Whatever you have to do, go get those points. They don't have to be pretty games. As a matter of fact, they can be downright ugly if you need them to be. They're going to be so early in the day, most people are going to end up missing out on them anyway. So don't forget to mark those start times that the Preds need to seize these 4 points. They are teams below them in the standings, and it's an opportunity to knock Minnesota even further back as the games start to diminish to almost single digits here. It's here. We are in the thick of the playoff race, and nobody is going to do a better job of covering that minute to minute, hour to hour, and day to day than we are here in the bunker. We are the organization that is equipped to be here covering this in this small window of opportunity that we have to break all of these different stories and cover all of these different things. Trade deadline just wrapped up an hour ago. Show is already coming out. Operation 883 in the books. Stick taps, love, and respect, Renegades. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier.